What's good, everybody? Welcome into Early Edge Live as we count down to Monday Night Football, the end of Week 7. Chicago Bears, that potent offense, heading into enemy territory, that big-time rival, the New England Patriots. Oh, no. This is just a bad NFL game. But, hey, we're here for it. Bears-Patriots, Monday Night Football. So let's bring in the stars of the show. Because on Monday night, I have absolute rock stars. Let's start with live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level. M Square, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Coach. Profi, Sia. Great to see you. Goose in the background as well. Great to see everybody here fired up for this game. You know what? I actually like this game a lot tonight. Let's go.
Oh, well, if he likes it, I better change my attitude. Speaking of attitude, Goose has had kind of an attitude the last couple of days. Alex, have you got him settled down a little bit?
Goose has been fired up, Coach. Like I said, he's been in the club with me. As you know, he's my +1. We've been having the time of our lives. He works on parlays in there. So, yeah, he's been turned up. He's exhausted. He worked on a parlay all day long to get out to the good people of SportsLine. So, yeah, we're just ready to cash some tickets tonight.
Well, if those good people want to have that Goose or the donkey, you guys know what you have to do at home. I need 500 likes. Do it right now so I don't have to scold you in 30 minutes. Now, he is the greatest looking man in the history of the Early Edge universe. He is Sia Najat. Sia, good evening, sir.
Coach, what's up? Yeah, it's an underwhelming game. These primetime games tend to be that very thing, but it's football and it's NFL football at the end of the day. I got to be honest, I'm kind of embarrassed, Coach, because this is the first time I've been on a primetime game with you all, and I don't have an official play. So I've got some leans, and maybe I'll make something official before this is out, but before this show is up. But I'm very interested in this game. There's a lot of different angles I think you can play.
And we'll talk about all of them. And don't even worry about it, Sia. Do not even worry about it, because when you have games like this, when you really have to find angles and do top-level handicapping, only some of the greatest will have, best bets.
I knew where that was going.
Alex, by the way, do you have a play on the game? Oh, okay.
I think my audio just went out, Coach.
All right, if you're brand new to the show, we like to have a good time, obviously, but we're also here to cash tickets, answer questions, educate, and entertain. So if you have a prop that you like, and I'm telling you right now, there's never been a game, at least that I have covered, that has more low props than we have tonight. We'll discuss them over the course of the next 15 or 20 minutes. Then we'll do the Goose tonight. We'll do the Donkey tonight. We'll do the Gem tonight. And hopefully somebody will join Alex, Maestro, and Goose in the club tonight. And see it will not be you. I have a secret weapon. Tonight. All right, so we're going to do our best bets first, and then we're going to discuss the game, get into props, and do all that. So here's where we stand as a brand. Maestro is on David Montgomery over 11.5 receiving yards. Now, Sia, according to Caesars Sportsbook today, 100% of the bets on this guy and this bet have been to the over. Your thoughts?
That's interesting, because that was one of the bets I was actually considering. I like David Montgomery over 11.5 receiving yards, and he's hit that quite a bit this season. My only issue with David Montgomery in general is how much is Khalil Herbert going to play? But the good thing about that reception prop, or the yardage prop, is that even if Khalil Herbert assumes more of a rushing attempt role, it's probably not going to be in the passing game. And in a very likely negative game script, I do see David Montgomery clipping this 11.5 receiving yard total. It was one of 3 leans I had in this game, and I'm just finding out now that Maestro was on it. I absolutely love that one.
The crew, always great minds think alike. Now, Alex, AB is on Nick Folk over 1.5 field goals. Justin Fields over 0.5 interception. By the way, the point total for Folk over 7.5. Extra points do count. Do you like either one of those?
Can you repeat them? I'm sorry, Coach.
Oh, sorry. Nick Folk over 1.5 field goals and Justin Fields over 0.5 interception. Pretty juicy. -170 in the -170s.
I don't mind them. I think the kicking one sounds good. I think this game could be won with field goals. Clearly, a Bears offense, it doesn't seem like they're going to score a lot against this Patriots defense. So I think Bill will be conservative with the offense. So I think field goals are certainly in play. I definitely think Justin Fields is certainly live to throw an interception tonight. I think the juice is pretty heavy, though, at that price. I'm personally not paying it there, but I do think there's a great chance that it happens.
5 interceptions, 4 touchdowns for Justin Fields so far this year. Now, see, I like you, am also embarrassed. I hate coming to the show as the only full-time handicapper at the Early Edge that has a play on the – with all due respect to you, Mikey, that has a play on the game tonight. And I see King Jerf in the chat agrees with me. I'm going to go I can't even say his name correctly. Ramondre Stevenson. You think I do this for a living? Over 62.5 rush yards. Now, Alex, I know you were in your own lab like I was in mine today. Can you tell me how many times that Stevenson has gone over this number so far this season?
4 or 5 games, Coach.
That is exactly right. Ding, ding, freaking ding. This man is a beast. Now, Mikey, can you tell me where Chicago's run defense ranks in the NFL, just approximately?
It's going to be middle of the pack to near the bottom. I honestly have no idea. Not something I look at or consider.
Yes, Sia.
Well, I can tell you how many yards per carry they're giving up. It's 4.7 yards per carry, which is good for 25th in the league. Not very good.
That's not very good. They're actually 29th in the league against rushing. So I feel like my play is pretty good. Mikey, do you like this play? Do you think tonight will be one of those, especially with Mac Jones coming back? I think they're going to try to protect him just a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely think they'll protect him a little bit. I think we'll see both of the running backs here, but I do lean over on the number. Stevenson has been featured heavily in some of my plays that are already out if you're on SportsLine. So, yeah, definitely am not taking unders on it, that's for sure.
All right. Now, do you have a pick? I think you have a pick on the side. Is that correct?
I do, yes.
What do you like tonight?
I like the Bears +9 in this game. You can currently find it at 9 -115 over on MGM. Full disclosure on this one, I have a boost over there that I've maxed out for a quarter unit. It gives me +133 on my +9. So that's why I'm playing it there and I like it. But the lean is to the Bears side. Simulations make this game 7. Look, I'm not sure that Mac Jones playing is an upgrade. I would argue that it might be a downgrade for the Patriots in their current situation. I think he's rushed back a little bit in this spot because he doesn't want to lose his job. I think this is a good spot here for the Bears, though. I think they're going to be able to keep the game competitive enough just because I don't think this Patriots offense is going to have the pace of play and really going to be out there putting up 30 points in this game. So we should be able to keep it within the 9 here on the Bears side. Justin Fields makes just enough plays with his legs, hitting Darnell Mooney and David Montgomery out of the backfield. Give me a little backdoor cover here. Bears +9.
I don't mind that at all. Alex, go.
Cool. I just wanted to touch on briefly why I don't have any official picks in this game. To me, there's just so many question marks when we're breaking down props in this game. First off, looking at the quarterback situation in New England, Mac Jones returning to the lineup after missing the previous 3 games. It's being reported that he may split some work actually with Bailey Zappi. And so Jones wasn't playing particularly well before he went down. 2 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Obviously, Zappi played well in relief of Jones. So he may cede some touches to Zappi in this matchup. That potentially, obviously, kind of splinters any potential quarterback props. Then we're looking at the wide receiver group for New England. They're rotating a lot of bodies. Nelson Aguilar, obviously Jacoby Myers, he's been sort of the constant, the mainstay in that room. We've got the rookie Thornton, who's been very good on limited touches. And then breaking down the backfield for New England, Damian Harris is also returning this week. Ramondre Stevenson had all the running back touches to himself over the previous 2.5 games. Now with Harris back, he practiced in full last week, actually practiced last week on a limited basis as well. They were kind of splitting work nearly 50-50. So I'm interested to see how much Harris is going to mix in. Harris has been good as far as a lot of the metrics go, but not great. What was great was his volume over the past 2 games. Obviously, that volume is going to be cut into. It's speculative how much volume that's going to cede to Harris. And then kind of breaking down this Bears defense, they've been terrible against the run. They've been terrible against the pass. So I could honestly see New England coming with a run-heavy approach. I could also see them attacking them through the air. Teams have kind of flip-flopped with how to attack this Bears defense because they have been equally bad at both defending the run and the pass. There's just so many question marks when you break down this Patriots offense. Then real quick, just looking at the Bears, even their backfield, it came out that the Bears coach said that he's going to take a hot hand approach between David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert. So just there's so many question marks in this game. Where are these touches going to go? Who's going to get them? How the game script's going to play out? This is why I'm just avoiding props in this matchup.
Boy, you're taking some heat in the chat, Alex. You're taking some heat. They're saying you're making excuses. They say you don't want to step up. You don't want to put your perfect record on the line tonight. That's what they're saying, not me. That's what they're saying. 9-0. 9-0 this weekend. The man is perfect. I feel like Alex, you know what we should do? I feel like you should be forced to make one. And if it hits, we give away $100 to a very lucky person in the chat. Whoever wants to participate can write perfect in the chat. Would you be willing to do that, Alex?
For the people, of course I'd be willing to
For
do
the
that, Coach.
people, of course we're going to do that. Yes, Sia.
No, I was going to say I'm willing to do that as well. I mean, I want to join in on this fun. This is the first time I haven't had an official play. I got to come with something, and I have something in mind that I was going to put out there. It's one that's going to surprise some people, but anyway, I'll do it as well.
Okay, so at the top of the hour in 17 minutes, 8 o'clock Eastern, Alex will give out an official pick that won't count against his record. It's just for fun. Sia will give out a pick. Either one of those hits, $100 cold, hard cash. Just ask our girl Allison how quickly we get paid. She's been playing with house money all weekend after naming the Speculator as the new nickname for Jason Spector. Now, Sia, I'm coming right back to you because if what Alex and Mikey says is true, and perhaps Bailey Zappi will get some playing time tonight, I still think he should be starting. But what about that number for Mac Jones? 215.5 for his passing number.
Really interesting number, especially if you believe the game script that it's going to be the Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris show. For the record, I do have a slight lean to Damian Harris's under in rushing yards of 50.5. Certainly not an official play, but that's that sort of running game approach and the idea that not only is New England going to chew up clock with the run, but it's very likely that the Bears are going to as well, which just lends itself to a couple less drives, a couple less passing opportunities, particularly in a positive game script for the New England Patriots. So I don't really see a lot downfield for Mac Jones. I see some dink and dunk stuff to guys like Jacoby Myers in the slot, to Hunter Henry. I don't see him getting to this total. My lean would be to the under in his passing yards.
All right, fair enough. Mikey, let's go to the other quarterback, Justin Fields. We know that he figures out a way. Sometimes it's late, but he figures out a way to throw an interception. But the one thing he does well is run the football. His number is 42.5 tonight. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's unfortunate I can't play this one. I was hoping the number would be a little lower, landing around 36, 37. The simulation number is 41 on it. If anything, the slightest of leans to the under. My issue with that is I think that it's going to be neutral or trailing game script, and I think that's where he ultimately can get loose. So I respect his upside far too much to play the under on it, but the slight lean on the under.
Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough. By the way, Sia, Chad's back, and he's taking a shot at you. Ooh. Glad to see Sia getting over that once-a-year Commanders win hangover.
Okay, first of all, point taken. Second of all, it's 2 wins in a row against these very Bears that we're going to see tonight, which for the record could be considered a D1 team. You know, it's funny. That brings up a point. You know, Bill Belichick, he always takes away your best weapon. Well, joke's on you, Bill, because there's no best weapon for the Chicago Bears, buddy. Yeah. So good luck.
Yeah. When he said gonna go with the hot hand, does that exist with Chicago Bears? No. Does it exist?
No
I don't think so. Alex, I'm gonna read some props to you because I want people to understand just how low these props are. Then I want you to explain to me why they even give them out. So Cole Kmet, 2.5. Dante Pettis, 1.5. David Montgomery, 1.5. St. Brown, 1.5. John U. Smith, 1.5. I mean, everything is so low, but yet you can still get a bunch of them. I think I understand now what you're talking about. Why do they even give these props out if they're just basically just tantalizing you to play them?
Yeah, they're obviously very low, but we're looking at or in the Bears case, one of the lowest volume passing offenses in the NFL. They just do not run a lot of plays. Same with the Patriots. They're going to run the football a lot, keep the clock moving, and there's just not going to be a high volume of plays. Neither of these teams play with any sort of pace whatsoever. Looking at Justin Fields, he may not attempt 20 passes on the night. If they're winning, he could attempt less than 15 even. We've seen that in some games where the Bears are competitive. They just want to run the football as much as possible. So yeah, just looking at these pass catchers on both sides, particularly on the Bears side, there's just not a lot of passing volume to even, generate potential plays. So that's why you're just seeing very low numbers across the board, as there's just not going to be a lot of opportunities out there.
Yeah, not a lot of opportunities either. Now, let's come back to Mikey, because you are our first quarter whisperer. The Bears are +3 in the first quarter. You like them for the game at +9. What about the first quarter?
I don't hate leaning that way, but I don't typically play spreads in first quarters. I look for totals more than spreads. Just spread is incredibly manipulated by who gets the ball first here in the first quarter, especially in the NFL where you have the running clock on first downs and two football teams that want to run the ball. Lean that way, but not something I would entertain playing personally, unless you, for some reason, thought that there was either an increased probability of a scripted drive on one side or we have Mac Jones returning, maybe doesn't look sharp early. If that's the angle you want to play, I'm okay with it. But typically don't want to put the coin toss in play here.
Okay. I understand that. I completely understand that. See, let's go to the – Alex, go.
I was going to say I have my play ready for this game in case we are.
Oh, let's go, big boy. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, we're going Patriots rookie wide receiver Tyquan Thornton. I've been very impressed with Thornton so far. Started the season on IR, has since come off. His role has grown in every single game this season. His route participation jumped from 64% to 72%. Against the Browns last week. That's a good indication, in my opinion. The Patriots want to get this guy more and more involved. Also, 38% of his targets have come on screen passes, so they're trying to get him the ball. He also possesses a very unique skill set in that he is by far the fastest player on the Patriots offense. They want him to take the lid off this defense. They want to use him as a deep threat. They want to get the ball into his hands as many ways as possible because he is electric with the football. This is a great matchup against the Bears. As I mentioned, their pass defense is porous. So give me Tyquan Thornton over 2.5 receptions. Love this guy.
Over 2.5 receptions. There might be another top flight capper on the show that has Thornton, maybe in something later in the show, who saw the same things that you saw, Alex. I feel like I'm just feeding off of you tonight, just feeding off that capping energy. All right, see it. Now I'm coming to you because we talked about Mac Jones. We're leaning to the under on his passing yardage. I just played it, but we have a ridiculously low number on Justin Fields, but there's a reason for it. And I almost feel like on Justin Fields, you play the under every week and say, prove me wrong. And right now it's at 160. That's not a typo. It's 160. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I got to be honest. I see it at 159.5 in some places and 160.5 in others. I believe it's Caesars and MGM, maybe even DraftKings. It's still at 159.5. This is funny how this works because this is the play I'm going to give out. This is the play that I thought, people are going to be reasonably surprised by. And it's because I'm taking the over in Justin Fields' passing yardage. So let's just keep a couple things in mind. Over the last few games, we're looking at 190 passing yards, 208, and 174. So he's eclipsed this in the last 3 games. Part of the reason for that is we're seeing him drop back and pass more. Now, granted, some of those dropbacks are resulting in rushing attempts by Justin Fields. And frankly, if you want to look at his rushing over, I don't hate that either. It's a little high for me, but I think he's going to be forced, particularly in a negative game script, to pass the ball a little bit more. Mikey mentioned actually garbage time when he was talking about a potential backdoor cover. Well, he could very well have 100 yards in the fourth quarter and get 60 or 70 in garbage time if they are down that 9-point spread or that double-digit spread that Vegas is anticipating. So given that he is dropping back more over the last few games, given that he's probably more comfortable in this offense relative to week 1, and the fact that he's in a negative game script, and the fact that he's eclipsed this number the last 3 games that he has played, I'm okay with this, even though it's going to be a slower pace, a lot of rushing attempts on both sides of the ball, 159.5, 160.5. That's a pretty great number. I'll take it.
Do you know what I just did? When I thought you were automatically going to go to the under, so I bet it before you even said the over. So now I'm stuck. And do I lose juice is my point. Do I play the over and just lose the juice? Hell to the no.
It sounds like you subconsciously wanted to be in a showdown with me, and you just said to yourself, this is what I want to do. I don't know if I'm comfortable doing that on a Justin Fields bet.
Me either.
I'll do it.
We always do. We're
you guys sound craven over there. Come on.
What do you got, Alex?
I want you guys to get in this showdown. What are you guys waiting for? But I have something I want to touch on really quickly. Look at you both. I know you want a showdown. You just can't say it out loud. Go for it. I dare you both. Anyway, I thought AB brought up an excellent point on the early edge in 5. Talked about Bill Belichick and what he does against an offense that's one-dimensional. Maybe no offense is more one-dimensional than the Chicago Bears offense. They run the ball. They cannot pass the ball whatsoever. Bill Belichick is a master, maybe the greatest coach in the history of the NFL at taking away that that one dimension. In my opinion, they are going to put 8 people in the box, force Justin Fields to beat the Patriots with his arm by taking away the run game. And I actually think Sia's on the right track with that prop. Would love to see you showdown him, Coach.
You'd have to root for an under, though. I'm just putting that out there. But I'm
and they even said in the chat that Coach proactively betting an under ? I get it. I hate them. All right, give me. We've got some time. Let me. Oh God, I hate when you guys sucker me into this stupid stuff. All right. He says. Danny says, Coach, you had a good weekend. I did have a great weekend. Go for it. You know what? Damn it. Are you in or are you out?
I'm so in that I'm willing to make this an official play. And of course, I'm willing to do a showdown with the coach, which I believe you have my number mostly, but I did win the last showdown against you and against Alex, for the record.
Yeah, well, so here's the problem. So if you win, you're giving away $100, right? So that could technically be my money that goes to you, that goes to the person. Or you could lose $200.
Well, no, if it doesn't hit, then I don't give away $100.
Oh, that's true. So you only lose $100 to me. Okay. What's the number you'd like to go with, sir?
Well, I see it 159.5. I'm going to take the best number. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I see it 160.5. So why don't we meet in the middle at 160? Very, very good. Snake, do you got the music? It's gonna be a showdown. Is this our very first prop showdown on the show?
No, we've had one before, Coach, you and I.
Well, I didn't talk about me beating you all the time, Alex. I was talking about me and Sia.
Yes. This is our first pro down.
Yeah. I like that.
Coach, I've won my last 2 showdowns versus you. I'm just throwing that out there. One was a double, too, Coach. That's really 3.
I like to forget those. It's just like all the times I've beaten Mikey. I just forget those. I don't know where they went. I really, really don't. All right, we are approaching the top of the hour. If you're just joining us, where have you been? We're having a ball tonight. We've got $200 getting ready to ship out if we hit Alex's play of Tyquan Thornton. By the way, Alex, I wanted to mention it. I don't have that play at my book, and they said a FanDuel. Do you know the book that does have that? Because right now, the DraftKings. Okay, so that bet is at DraftKings if you can play there. Justin says, going against Alex, advice, Coach? I don't know. Well, it's not the first time. He was only 9-0 this week. What does he know? Stop it. Just stop it. All you guys calling me out, make me lose all my money. I had to spend all this money on this new studio. I have no money left. Absolutely zero. All right, we got 4 minutes till the top of the hour. We're going to do the donkey. We're going to do the goose. We're going to do the gem. And we'll redo our 3 best bets for the show tonight. But, Mikey, let me come back to you because we got to play something tonight. Would you – they're asking in the chat, would you play – I think a scoreless first quarter is plus money. And we saw that last week. Could we see that again tonight? Is there any totals you're looking at? Quarters, halves, games, anything?
I'm not going to touch the first quarter on it personally, but I do lean under in the game. And I think that it'll be a situation we'll watch a little bit and look for live betting opportunities on it. But if you wanted to play something pregame, I do lean under on the game. Should be down to 37.5, 38. So that's kind of where my strong lean is. However, I want to see some of what the Patriots offense is able to look like here. If the Patriots offense is able to score points with relative ease, I think this thing turns into a miniature shootout, if you will. So I'm not going to touch it here. I'm going to watch, play it live, look for frequent plays in game. But the initial lean is under.
Okay. By the way, Bill Belichick has a chance tonight to move into sole possession of second place on the all-time wins list at 325. Don Shula is the all-time wins leader at 347. So Bill Belichick has something to play for tonight. A little bit of motivation on his part. You know, since we don't have a ton of bets and there's not a ton of bets in the chat, we're not going to force anything. Let's just move on in the show right now. We don't have to stay on for an hour. That's what we normally do, but not on games like this. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to do the donkey. We're going to do do we have enough likes? Are we at 500? Yes. Yes, Jake? Is that a yes? I'm assuming it is. So we're going to give it away. All right. So, Mikey, we'll give the donkey first, the goose second, and then I will tell you why I am going to be in the club tonight popping bottles. All right, Mikey, I need something to play tonight. I need something. Give me the donkey, please.
All right. Donkey parlay for tonight. We're going Bears, alternate spread, plus 18.5. Damian Harris, over 34.5 rushing yards. Ramondre Stevenson, over 49.5 rushing yards. Darnell Mooney, over 29.5 receiving yards. Devontae Parker, over 14.5 receiving yards. Jacoby Myers, 34.5 receiving yards. David Montgomery, 7+ receiving yards. We cashed the ticket with 7. And then finally, the Chicago Bears team total over 9.5 points. Need at least 10 points there, plus 700.
Boy, I tell you, I love that sounder. If this hits tonight, Mikey, this might be your greatest work ever, because this is a hard game to figure out. This might be your greatest work ever if this hits tonight. It might be. Plus 700. Boy, that is tasty. That is tasty. But we don't give you one. We give you 2. And as you know, the Goose has been working, and he's been fired up on the bed behind Alex. What has he been getting to in the lab? We're about to find out. Alex, what do we got?
The Goose is loose, Coach. First up, we've got Ramondre Stevenson, anytime touchdown scorer. I love his chances to score a touchdown tonight. Then we've got the Bears to score fewer than 24 points. The Patriots to score over 17 points. Mac Jones to throw for at least 170 yards. Damian Harris to rush for 35 rushing yards. Ramondre Stevenson to rush for 50 yards. And Jacoby Myers, the great Patriot slot receiver, to have over 35 receiving yards.
So are you giving out Ramondre Stevenson and trying to tell us he's plus 1,000 tonight too in the gym?
That's my gem pick? No.
Yeah, he's plus 500 right now. You're not going to slide that one by us tonight. Not even close. Are you going to slide that one by us? All right, now it is that time of the show as we cross the top of the hour. This is the Early Edge on YouTube. Thanks for watching on Apple and Spotify. We value you as well for listening every single day and making the brand what it is. Just a lot of fun, educate, and entertain. And we had an unbelievable weekend with all of my cappers and trying to cap it off tonight with best bets, which we'll get to in a second. Somebody's asking about the Thornton bet. We'll do that over in a couple minutes so you can get that in. But also it's time for the gym. This used to be the VJM. We've named it for our beloved producer, the jeweler, who has left us for greener pastures. And as many of you know who watch every single night, Mikey gets to go first. Why? He was the very first winner. He named it. This is his thing. So, Mikey, who you rolling with tonight?
We're going as chalky as I think I've ever gone on this one. We're going David Montgomery, plus 1,000, Chicago Bears running back here. I love this spot for him, and frankly, the number only exists because they are 9-point road dogs. This is a number that would normally be plus 700, plus 800. Love the spot, though. I think he still has the role. Yes, Khalil Herbert will mix in, but I think this is a good spot for him. I think he finds the end zone tonight, plus 1,000.
That was really good education for those of you who didn't notice what Mikey is doing. If you're going to play a first touchdown of the game, really look at the spread. Look, because it's based off of who's favored. And that's why sometimes you can get a better number on a player that would be a lot lower. So just pay attention to that, what the game script is supposed to be. All right, now, how we go down the list is those that are currently in the club, then those that have been in the club, and then me at the bottom. So, Alex, you cashed a couple of weeks ago. What was the one you cashed with?
Oh, in the club, Coach? You're saying
Yeah.
the one I cashed to go into the club, Coach?
Yes, that one. Wait, who was that?
That was Devontae Adams, Coach.
Yeah,
Little-known player.
I still think that's the biggest bunch of BS ever. But you had receipts. So I can't say anything. Who do you like tonight for a potential second trip into the club or bringing in a friend?
Coach, I actually wouldn't even say I like this guy, but I'm going Nelson Aguilar because I was the last person to submit my pick, and every single good selection had already been taken. So we are going Nelson Aguilar as a result.
That sounds like a capper for ESPN that said today, "Oh, I'm obligated. I hate this game, but I'm obligated to make a pick. So here you go." That's somebody that I want to follow. That's somebody I want to tail. Holy cow! You guys probably know who I'm talking about. All right. Now, this man he's gotten to the club so many times that when he walks into the club, they don't even check his ID anymore. They just go, it's up there.
Yeah.
See ya. How many times have you gotten in the club?
Just 3, only 3. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. NBD.
Oh, my God. Who do you like tonight?
First of all, I do want to file a motion to reconsider the Devontae Adams play. I filed it. I have filed in Broward Circuit Court with the honorable Alan Bell, who will be presiding over that motion and hopefully ruling in our favor. Okay, so I am taking a guy. When Alex said there were so many guys that he wanted and they were just already taken, I know his first pick. I'm quite certain it must have been the guy with the most famous HH initials of all time. Not Herbert Hoover, not Howard Hughes, not Harry Houdini, not Hulk Hogan, but none other than Hunter Henry. We know how much, and Mike can attest to this, how much we like picking tight ends. Normally it's backup tight ends like Donald Parham, who's a guy I got into the club with at 40-1. Alex, don't worry about 40-1. You'll read about it someday. It's very impressive. Trust me. It is Hunter Henry at plus 1,400. He will be your first touchdown scorer. He will be the security blanket for Mac Jones coming off injury, wide open in the middle of the field. Thank you. My entry into the club will be tonight.
Remind me to tell you my really good Hulk Hogan story someday when we have time. I got a really good Hulk Hogan story.
One?
For you. Well, I've got several, but only one I can tell on the show. They usually involve something illegal. All right. So Wayne in the chat, apparently he's inside my head because he says Tyquan Thornton plus 1,500. I'll pick you up, coach, as we head into the club tonight. So I don't really need to say anything about Thornton because Alex did it for me. In fact, what he was reading was something I wrote about Tyquan Thornton with my research that I did earlier today, and I just gave it to him. I said, "Here you go. You can use it for a pick." I'm not greedy, so I'm going to go Tyquan Thornton tonight plus 1,500. Last week, most people don't realize he didn't score just one touchdown. He scored 2 touchdowns, one in the air and one on an end around. They get flexible with this kid. And yes, he's dynamic. He is fast. And tonight, when you see that Thornton on the back of the jersey gliding into the end zone, I promise you, you think that Alex and Sia and Mikey are annoying when they go into the club? You haven't seen anything yet. You haven't seen anything yet. Now, AB is on Devontae Parker, plus 1,000. He's a stud. And Jake Snake, our esteemed producer, is on St. Brown, plus 1,900. So a nice little selection there. If you want to play, go ahead and put your selection into the chat, and hopefully we'll welcome you into the club as well. Now, many of you drop in right at 8 o'clock, so we're going to go over our best bets once again. We have 2 that we've added, and if you want to participate, write perfect into the chat. We're going to pick 2 or potentially 3 winners tonight if these hit. So let's do the two new ones first. What are you playing?
Yeah, I've got over 159.5 passing yards for Justin Fields. He's hit it the last three games, and honestly, he's just dropping back more. He's delivering more pass attempts. Yes, he's rushing a little bit more with his dropbacks, but at the end of the day, this is a negative game script. It's a quarterback that's getting a little bit more confident. Let's remember against Washington, he passed for a bunch of yards. It was just the red zone inefficiency that didn't get him there. Will that repeat this week? It doesn't really matter for purposes of this prop. So give me Justin Fields over 159.5 passing yards.
Are you staying up tonight till like 11:15 or 11:30? Will you be up after the game?
I mean, do I go to sleep while NFL football is on?
I'm just making sure you're awake to hit that Venmo. That's all I care about.
I'm just passing your Venmo on to a winner, so I have to stay awake for the chat.
Touche. Now we have another $100 cold hard cash on the line for one lucky viewer. Alex, what's the play for you?
Just want to preface, this is not an official pick for me. This is a show-only selection that I am giving out so I can bestow $100 to someone. But that is Tyquan Thornton, over 2.5 receptions. You can find this on DraftKings and Caesars. I have not seen it elsewhere, but I love this rookie wide receiver. He's been very, very impressive. His route participation has increased every week. They are throwing him a ton of screens, getting the ball near the line of scrimmage to him. He's the fastest player on the field. This guy's dynamic, and I love his chances to go over 2.5 receptions tonight.
Real quick chat question on Fields before I forget. Mikey, let's go to you. Over 23.5 attempts for Justin Fields tonight. What does your model say?
Wow. Attempts on Justin Fields. I have it at 24. I'm not playing it. If you think they're going to lose, then yes, play the over. If you think you get blown out, play the over. If you think the game's competitive like I do, I think the number is efficient. Yeah, and if they're winning, he's not achieving this number if they're winning. So that's where I would direct you on it, but I have it at 24, which is not enough to play it.
All right. Fair enough. I have a best bet tonight, which is rare for me, but as I was doing my research in my own lab today, and I built my own lab, as you can see, I'm going to go Ramondre Stevenson, and I'm going to go over 62.5 rush yards. As I told you earlier in the show, he's gone over this number 4 out of 5 games. A couple of weeks ago, he had over 120 yards rushing. Last week, he had a great week as well. So I think tonight, even though we know that the number 2 guy is back, Damian Harris, I still think it's going to be a Stevenson show, and he will be supporting him. Sia like that under rushing total. I think I'm going to play that Sia anyway, to be honest. I really I don't think they're going to give Damian Harris a lot of work tonight. So I think I'm going to play that play that you liked. Do you still like that? Yes?
I do still like it, yeah. It's juiced to the under. I think it's probably receiving some money. Listen, I think Damian Harris could get some short yardage work and between the 20s work, but ultimately coming off an injury, I still would anticipate Ramondre getting 60%, if not a touch more of the rushing attempts. Again, it's a bit of an unknown, but that's what I would anticipate in this game.
All right. The last thing I will tell all of you watching at home, this is a night, two things. Mikey says it all the time. One of the best bets you make is the bet you don't make. Also, maybe take your unit size down just a little bit. These are not picks that are rock solid. They're just not because of the teams that are playing. So just take that for what it is. All right. You guys know that I like to end every single show asking my experts, my cappers, exactly the number one most important thing they're looking forward to tonight. Maybe you can take this information for tonight or use it at a later date. Mikey, start us off.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how Justin Fields and the Bears play in this road environment. And then on the Patriots side, who plays quarterback for how many series? Is being reported late here now that we expect both quarterbacks to take snaps. We'll see if that's true or not. But all of the Mac Jones props have been pulled.
Let's see if I can get – mine is still up. Let's see if I can get it in right now live on the show. The under – let's bet the under. Let's see if it'll take. It took. Still going on some books. Maybe not United States books, but some books. Alex, what are you looking forward to tonight?
I am looking forward to potentially midway through the fourth quarter, maybe in the last few minutes, Justin Fields throwing an interception, walking over to the sideline, putting on the headset, and then meditating and capturing what is, in my opinion, the funniest picture of this NFL season.
I don't even know where that came from, but I'm going to look forward to that too.
You haven't seen his picture meditating on the sideline, Coach?
No, I have not.
I'll send it to you after this game. It's my favorite picture of the season. It encapsulates the Bears season. They talked about, I believe it was the last time Fields was on a primetime game, how he's taken up meditation. And after the Bears were down, to see his Commanders, he went over to the sideline after throwing a pick, put on his headset, and he had his eyes shut, and he was meditating, and it was very funny.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that is – I can't wait to see that. Sia, what about you, big boy?
Yeah, so the New England Patriots have been relatively irrelevant over the last year and a half or so, and I like to see Bill in the playoffs. I think Bill is just one of the best coaches of all time. I think everybody shares that view. This is a chance for the New England Patriots to just kind of insert themselves back into the AFC race with a lot of these teams like the Chargers and the Ravens and some of these teams that we had expectations for kind of falling back a little bit. So this is a chance for the Patriots to kind of put their stamp on the season and excel forward toward the playoffs, and they got to take care of the Bears.
Clearly, you did not watch our AFC East Futures episode of The Early Edge. It was when some of us got to go to Nashville. Us top guys got to go to Nashville, and we got to pick things before the season. I don't think you were there. But anyway, we picked the Patriots not to go to the playoffs. So I have that future ticket blinking like a big red light in my account every damn day. This year, they don't need to make the playoffs. Next year's fine, but not this year. And the number one thing I'm looking forward to tonight, because you guys know I'm as competitive as it gets. I love to win, and I hate to lose, but I can take losing, and I can tip my cap and say, well done. But tonight is not that night. I feel so good. I hit 2 big parlays over the weekend. I'm playing with house money, and it doesn't even matter. I could give them $100, and I wouldn't even feel it. But I would feel it, if you know what I mean. So I'm not doing that tonight. See, I'm looking you in the eye, big boy. One of my greatest competitors in my life. And I love having a showdown with you. All right. It's just about that time. The end of week 7. And hopefully, somehow, this game will be better than what we think. All right. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, Damn it, I love them all. See ya. Prop stars, M Squared, Jake the Snake on the ones and the two, A and the B in the chat. A and the B, AB in the chat. I am the coach. Tell all your friends we're here every single NFL night, every day, twice a day. We grind for you. We do it all for you at the Early Edge. Good luck.